Okay, so for the income statement, as you can see, the example in the book on page 452, you fill in the header on the income statement. And I'm just going to get that information from the worksheet, from the workbook, Interstate Tires, Inc. So fill the top out first. Interstate Tires, Inc. Income statement, so I put income statement underneath that. And then year ended December 31st. We'll just put 2018 on there since we just got finished with that year.
Are you doing the work together on your own paper?
Yeah.
And then what paper is that? On the back, and does it have another on your own?
Doing the work together. I just lost my page that said
No, that one.
this. This one says 402, but it should be
Like 400?
399. Okay, so I'm just gonna go. If you look at the instructions in the book, it says prepare an income statement, calculate and record the income statement from the component percentages. We've got all the rest of the instructions here. We're going to do the rounding on the nearest percentage to the 0.1%, and then we're going to use this page for section 2. But I'm just going to go back to the example that's on page 452 in the book. And I'm just using the example. I'm just going to fill out this income statement the same way for this Interstate Tires. But obviously I'm not going to use the information that's in the book. I'm just going to get the corresponding information from the worksheet. So we're going to start out with top revenue. So we've got some sections on here. We've got a revenue section. We've got a cost of merchandise sold section, and with our net purchases to end up with our profits, and then we've got our expenses section. So starting with the revenue, start with our first line, revenue. Then we're going to record our sales. And see how the columns are kind of staggered around? It's because when we're going to write down our sales, and then we're going to take our sales discounts. When we list our sales discount and returns and allowances, once we write those down, we're going to add those up here, track that from our sales for what's going to end up being our total net sales. So that's why the columns are kind of staggered around. So our sales, we'll just look at our worksheet. So we got sales is on line number 29, $548,989.25. So that's going to go over 3 columns. So it looks like I started a line higher than I should have, but it's not going to hurt anything. So 1, 2, 3, third column. We have our 548,000, so that's going to go here. 548, 989, 25. And then our next line underneath sales is going to be our less. That means we're going to end up subtracting this eventually. Less our sales discounts. So I'll write sales discount. And our sales returns and allowances. So we'll find our sales discounts on here. Which was right underneath the sales number. So our sales discounts is $661.69. So that's going to go over 2 columns. $661.69. Then our next one, our returns and allowances. 3 of these are right here. Returns and allowances, 3512.84, 3,512.84. So we've got that. And you see that we're just going to draw a line under those. So we're going to add these 2 numbers up. Add those 2 numbers together. So we get 4,174.53. So now we got our sales, got our discounts and allowances. So our next line down, we're going to do net sales. So remember, net is after everything's taken out of it. So net sales. So this is our gross. So we're going to subtract our discounts and allowances from the gross. So 548,000 minus 4174.53. So that's going to go. Our net sales is going to go into this 4th column, just like it shows in the book. That makes that 544, 814 and 72 cents. So now we've got our gross. Subtracted out our discounts and allowances for our total net sales. So you can see at the top of this little box column at the end, percentage of net sales. Net sales, that's 100% of our net sales. So now we're going to figure in what our cost of merchandise is. Eventually figure out what the percentage of that is compared to our net sales. So our next section down, cost of merchandise sold. Nothing goes on that line. That's just a line to mark down the next section. So merchandise inventory on January 1st of our year is 2018, so it's going to be January 1st of 2018. Merchandise inventory. (2018). Then we'll go back to our worksheet. Remember our trial balances, our ending balance. So now we just need to find inventory on here somewhere. Nope. And here it is on line 5. 198, 480, 33. And that's going to go again in that third column. So 198. $480, 33. Now we're going to list our purchases during the year. Let's find purchases on here somewhere. Oh. Here are purchases on the back page, a couple lines underneath the sales. So purchases were $278, $452.39. That goes in the second column. That. And then our next one down is going to be our purchases, discounts, and our purchases, returns, and allowances. And those are the first column. So we've got those are right underneath. Right underneath our purchases on our worksheet. 1845.78. And those are going to go in the first column. 1845.78. 35.48.65. So then our last line for this could be net purchases. So we're going to add these two numbers up, our purchases discount and our purchases return. We're going to add these up and put these in the second column underneath the 278. So 1845.78 plus 3548.65. So 5394.43. We'll draw a line under those two. And we still haven't done anything with this 198 yet, so we're just going to leave that one alone for another minute. So we want to find our net purchases. So what we're going to do is just subtract this 5394 from the 278 and write that answer right here in the third. So 278, 452.39 minus 5394.43. So it loses 273.57 and 96 cents.
Bless you.
So right now we've got the merchandise that we already had in stock on January 1st. Then we made some more purchases during the year. Took out our discounts and allowances, returns. So our next line is going to be for our total cost of merchandise available for sale. So what we need to do is add these two numbers. So we've already got to add our purchases during the year, add it on to our existing inventory that we already had. So we've got our 273.57 plus the 198,000. So the cost of all of our inventory, what we had and what we bought during the year, is $471,538.29. So that's what was available during the whole year. Remember, we still sold some stuff over the year. After our total cost was we're gonna subtract the merchandise inventory that we have at the end of the year. Yeah. So we'll find that year end on our worksheet somewhere. Yep. Here it is. Remember, trial balances are the beginning of the year. Then we've got our adjustments. So we've got our merchandise inventory on December 31st. So that's this number right here. The 188,999.25. So that's the amount that's going to go into this line. 188,999.25. So I'll go ahead and fill in our next line, cost of merchandise sold.
What's that last number that you wrote there? Yeah.
188,999.25. You're welcome. So we're going to put a line under that. And going to subtract the 188 from the 471. And that's going to be our cost of merchandise sold, and that's going to go here in this fourth column. So we got that 41 minus 188,999.25. So that leaves us with 282, 539 and 4 cents. So I'm going to draw a line under that. Because now we got one last line to add here for this section. Gross profit on sales. So now we've got, we're going to take this 282. So we've got our net sales up here. So we're going to subtract all of our merchandise from our net sales, and that's going to be the total for our gross profit on sales. So that leaves us with, I know my calculator says a negative, but that's you can ignore that. So that leaves us with 262, 275, 68. So now we've got our net sales. We've got 100% of our net sales. Now we've got a figure for our cost of the merchandise sold over the year, and we've got an amount for our gross profit on sales. So now all we're going to do is just find the percentages for those, So you got a 282, 539. 282, 539, 4 cents divided by 544, 814, 72 cents. So we've got 51%. So what we'll do is just go ahead and round that 8 up, make that to 51.9. I'm sorry, we're going to round the 5 up on the 8. So we're going to round the 8 up to 9. So 51.9% of our sales was cost of merchandise. So to find out what our gross profit on sales was, you can either divide or you can just do 100 minus 51.9, which leaves 0.1. So the first thing, like businesses are usually looking for is what the markup is. So right offhand, you can look at, a business owner can look at this, or an accountant, and see, look through the list. Oh, we got our net sales, 100% of our net sales. Gross profit on sales. Oh, we made 48% gross profit. That's not too bad. Eventually we want to find out what our net profit is. But we've still got other expenses to take out of that, and that's going to show you what your end up profit was. So I'm going to stop on the work together. Tomorrow we'll do the bottom half with the expenses. It's obviously, you can see it's a lot less complicated, just listing out the expenses, and then it's doing the percentages again against the net sales. So I'll stop with that one. That way you can get the on your started while it's still fresh in your head.